criminal referral to the Department of Justice. From your perspective, who should the DOJ target as part of their investigation? What specific figures in the Obama administration?
Well, based on what I read, and I read pretty much what you read, it would be President Obama. He started it. And Biden was there with him.
Well, then you're fucked, dude, because he was president at the time, and your own Supreme Court said whatever the president does, if he thinks it's in the national interest, and they think you're a real, all he has to come in and go is, yeah, no, I mean, from the evidence I saw, it looked like he was a fucking Russian asset. I was doing it to protect the American people. Case closed. Goodbye. He's the president, fuckwad. That's the point. Like, your own, like, insistence to chart it on the books that the president can do anything he fucking wants. Oh, yeah, sorry about that, guys. I should have put that up earlier. Nunt warning. There's a couple of them in this one, because we're going to go to the AI thing, because I don't know about you, and I wish Rob Glenn was here with me right now. But watching Trump try to explain AI to a room full of techs and nerds, I just feel like it's going to be glorious or a complete distraction. But yeah.
And Comey was there, and Clapper, the whole group was there.
Oh, because they worked in the administration?
Brennan, they were all there.
Yes, because they were in charge of the government. They were, Barack Obama was president, and all of his team were around. Yes, okay. So he met with his team, is what you're saying. Gotcha.
Right here, this was the room. This is much more beautiful than it was then, but that's okay. I have nice pictures up. They came out of the vaults. They were in there for 100 years. This is much more beautiful. We have the Declaration
This is such a weird fucking thing.
of Independence now in the room, which wasn't.
Yeah, go read it, motherfucker. It sounds like they're talking about you.
I guess people didn't feel too good about putting it here, but I do. But you know what? If you look at
what's it say? What's your favorite part? Seriously, somebody fucking say, cover your eyes and tell me your favorite part of the Declaration of Independence. It hangs on your fucking wall in your office every day.
Those papers, they have them stone cold, and it was President Obama.
They don't have him stone cold.
Lots of people all over the place. It was them too. But
You mean like Marco Rubio 2 years later?
leader of the gang was President Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him?
That's such a weird... He does this whole thing. Have you ever heard that name before? Like this weird verbal irony shit that he does. It's so fucking lazy. Wait, hold on one second. I'm trying to block the spammer on Facebook. Ugh. Why do these people try to sell like shit like that in my... I guess they do it in every chat, right? Okay.
And except for the fact that he gets shielded by the press for his entire
And the fact that he's the president, I guess, dumbass.
life. That's the one they... Look, he's guilty. It's not a question... You know, I like to say, let's give it time. It's there. He's guilty.
Well, then there goes the trial, fuckwad. The president of the United States called somebody guilty. There's no way I can have a trial because the president said it. And there's no way I'll be able to get a jury that hasn't been tainted because the fucking president of the United States said I was guilty. Like, he's just so bad at this. By the way, he can afford to be bad at this because it's not going anywhere and he knows it.
This was treason. This was every word you can think of.
Erythropoietic protoporphyria? That's 2 words, but...
They tried to steal the election. They tried to obfuscate the election.
This was after the election, dumbass. This was after.
They did things that nobody's ever even imagined, even in other countries.
I think you're selling the imagination of 8 billion people short.
You've seen some pretty rough countries. This man has seen some pretty rough countries, but you've never seen anything like it. And we have all of the documents.
Yeah, no.
And from what Tulsi told me, she's got...
From what? Aha, there we go. From what Tulsi told me, well, if you got the documents, you've seen them, right? Or she's told you this is what you have. I see. So when it turns out to be nothing, it's her fault.
Thousands of additional documents coming. So
Yeah, go for it. Thousands of additional documents. Absolutely. None of them have anything to do with Epstein, though, right?
President Obama, it was his concept, his idea, but he also got it from crooked Hillary Clinton. Crooked is a $3 bill.
Okay, $3 bills are not crooked. Crooked is a dog's hind leg, I think, is where you're going, or I'll spy's a kangaroo.
Hillary Clinton
By the way, that's the only crooked analogy he has, as you'll see in one moment.
and her group, the Democrats, spent $12 million to Christopher Steele to write up a report that was a total fake report. Took 2 years to figure that out.
Yeah, but that was op-ed from a campaign. Who gives a shit? Tough.
But it came out that it was a total fake report.
No, it wasn't.
It was made up.
Also, can somebody follow up? Did Christopher Steele have sex with Ivanka Trump or not? Inquiring minds want to barf.
And they used that. Now, the one thing they weren't able to do was to, and probably the only thing I respect about the press in years is the press refused to write it before the election. They
Because they didn't release it before the election, because they weren't trying to shift the election using that information.
refused to put it in. The Steele
Nobody offered it to them.
report was a disaster. All lies, all fabrication, all
Yeah, but like, didn't Vox put that out?
admitted, an admitted fraud. She
No, not an admitted fraud. No. No, it was not. You can say it's fake because you think so, but it wasn't an admitted fraud. Christopher Steele didn't come out and go, you got me. I made it up.
$12 million, and the Democrats for
It's pretty cheap, actually. They should have spent more and gotten pictures.
the report to a wise guy named Christopher Steele. He wrote a phony report, and they wanted to get that report in before the election. And I'll tell you what, I talk about
Well, then why didn't she release it, fuckwad? If they wanted to, and they had it, and they paid for it, and it was important for them to release it before the election, why didn't they?
all the time the fake news, how bad it is. But in this case, they wouldn't do it. They saw it, they read it,
Gibberish. What are you talking about?
and they said, we don't believe it. And it was only after, substantially, like a month and a half after the election, that it got printed, and it was a big wisp. It was just like a bang of nothing. Because
Well, then I guess it was not much of a coup, and it was actually just opposition research during a campaign that got released after the campaign. So what the fuck are we even talking about? Are there what do you mean thousands of documents? Are there thousands of copies of the Steele dossier still in circulation of the FBI?
it ended. If that report had gotten published by the New York Times or somebody, and I respect the Times for maybe only this, because they're crooked as you can be. They're a terrible paper.
Yeah, crooked as you can be. Once you've said crooked as a $3 bill, you're basically out of magic at that point.
Crooked, corrupt paper. But for this one moment, they said, this is bullshit, we can't put this in. And neither could any other.
Yeah, they didn't.
Wall Street Journal's a lousy paper, very, very dishonest paper.
Yeah, it's kind of curious that all of a sudden Rupert Murdoch's paper is full of shit.
As you see, I'm suing them for a lot of money because they
Yeah, and you're not going to win.
do things very badly. It's got a nice name, but it's really, in my opinion, it's a terrible paper. And
Wall Street Journal, because it has Wall Street in it. Wall Street's nicer than Main Street, is what he means. Sorry, maggots, you're suckers again.
it can be corrupt.
Wait, yeah, wouldn't you rather talk to the Main Street Journal?
But just so you know, they didn't take the Steele report. It was the dossier. Remember the famous dossier? I called it the fake news dossier.
No, you didn't. You called it the dodgy dossier. That's what everybody called it. That was the fake news dossier. Doesn't make any fucking sense, dummy. It wasn't from the fake news. And the fake news, you didn't print it, apparently. You're kissing their ass right now. What the fuck?
The news wouldn't publish it. And I'm amazed.
Well, then why is it the fake news dossier, dipshit?
2.5 months, it was finished. 2.5 months. That was supposed to be what was going to happen. And it got published.
Well, then why didn't it? What are you talking about? If that was the big plan, it's like they concocted all the Epstein files, but they waited for you to release them? What the fuck are you talking about?
A couple of months after the election.
Right. Yeah. Now that we've got him right where we want him, in the Oval Office.
And frankly, nobody cared too much about it. But that was a big thing. No, we caught Hillary Clinton. We caught Barack Hussein Obama.
No, you didn't. You just like saying Hussein.
They're the ones, and then you have many, many people under them. Susan Rice, they're all there. The names are all there. And I guess they figured they're going to put this in classified information, and nobody will ever see it again, but it doesn't work that way.
Well, the stuff they had to come forward with that was public is either verifiable or it's not.
And it's the most unbelievable thing I think I've ever.
Yeah, that's because you're making it up.
And so you ought to take a look at that and stop talking about nonsense, because
By the way, he means Epstein stuff. Stop talking about nonsense.
this is big stuff. Never has a thing like this happened in the history of our country. And by the way, it morphed into the 2020 race. And the 2020.
Sorry, they were in command of everything even after you were president for 4 fucking years? Like, I can kind of get holdovers like 6-10 months into your presidency, but sorry, in the last year, in the last quarter, I guess the third quarter of your presidency, of the third quarter of the last year of your presidency, Obama and them were still in charge of shit?
This was rigged, and it was a rigged election. And because it was rigged, we have millions of people in our country.
No, where are those people? Sorry. Where are they? Ask Holman. He's having a hard time finding these motherfuckers. Maybe there's 20, maybe, you know what, this is my fault. I was assuming they were full-grown people. Maybe they're like, the size of, the baby Bridget in Resident Alien. Maybe they're this big. Maybe the people that snuck across the border, that's how they get in. They could fit between the slats in the great slat fence, and they're very small, so that's why there's 25 million of them, but if you pushed them all together, it's like 2.
Had inflation, we solved the inflation problem.
Nope.
But millions and millions of people came into our country because of that.
Where are they?
And people that shouldn't have been, people from gangs and from jails and from mental institutions.
Yes, we've heard this, and you would think, I don't know about the gangs and jails part, maybe they're good at sneaking around, but the people from the mental institution, as many as, I don't know what if it's a solid quarter of them, what is it, would that be 6.5 million lunatics running around? So where those folks are able to like hide in plain sight, South American lunatics, murderers, who have been in asylums their whole lives, presumably, like Freddy Krueger's parents, and they're out roaming around, but nobody can find them. Holman doesn't know where the fuck they are. Where are these giant fucking, like, dog catcher vehicles full of, like, Spanish-speaking lunatics foaming at the mouth? Inquiring minds want to know.
People that we don't want in our country, and people that we're getting out. Danger.
It's way easier to get people out that aren't here at all. So,
people, 11,888 murderers, many of them 50%, more than 50%, murdered more than one person. I hate to say this.
Yeah, but that's true of everybody in jail. And also, that 11,888 wasn't 11,995 or something like that. Didn't he quote that before? And also, those people are already in jail. They've been in jail for a long time. It's like 2 decades worth of people. It's not, that 11,995 didn't come in the last year. Otherwise, who gives a shit? What's the ratio of 25 million people come in and only 11,000 of them are dangerous criminals? For real. Holy shit. What are the odds that the average populace is like that? And the number of people we have incarcerated speaks to the fact, I'm fairly certain, that we have a worse per capita rate than that. As citizens, what the fuck are you talking about?
Distinguished guest.
By the way, can I just say for the right, this is all gibberish. So even then, I'm speaking facetiously and questioning these details, but they are absolute hornswoggle. This is fucking garbage.
They asked me a question. I got to answer the question. No, Barack Hussein Obama is the ringleader. Hillary Clinton was right there with him, and so was Sleepy Joe Biden.
Yep, and you're never going to catch him. So I guess that makes you just the worst president in history. I mean, they were right there. They did it right out in the open. It was so easy to find. You won't even be able to press charges on a single one of them. It's going to be a waste of fucking time. You're not going to be able to charge them with treason at all. All they have to do is come in and have Obama go, yeah, I was president. I thought he was a genuine threat because he talked about grabbing women by the pussy and he was an adjudicated rapist. And we had information. And if he wants me to share it, I can share you the information we had on him that made us all concerned, that was classified at the time because we weren't going to release it just to upend because people would think we were just releasing it to fuck with the election. We didn't want to do that because we genuinely thought Hillary was going to win. But we can release that. If he'll give me I have the file right here.
Go with the rest of them, Comey, Clapper, the whole group, and they tried to rig an election.
Yeah, but then Ray agreed with them. So did Marco Rubio. So did your entire intelligence group. That's why you look like you'd gotten a proctology exam from fucking Putin.
They got caught. And then they did rig the election in 2020. And then because I knew I won that election by a lot, I did it a third time, and I won in a landslide. Every swing state won.
It might have been a gift from Elon.
Popular vote. But I won that all the same way in 2020. And look at the damage that was caused.
Oh, yeah, that 4% unemployment really fucked with everybody. Having the best economy in the entire world and the fastest recovery after COVID. Awful. Unbelievable. Getting an infrastructure bill passed. Really basically when that infrastructure bill passed, Trump felt like Biden just slapped him in the face with his dick. That's really what's going on here. That's why he called the one big beautiful bill the OBBB, because he wanted the BBB that Biden was passing, the Build Back Better. And he was jealous of the fact that it was infrastructure week, right, all of Trump's fucking term, and he never was able to do it. And nobody can figure out why, other than maybe he actually doesn't give a shit, right? But Trump blows himself. I don't think he's got the flexibility or the length necessary. I call bullshit. But Biden was able to pass it. Wasn't that hard, actually? Had the border bill actually not been in the election year, had it been the year before, probably would have passed too.